This is not like a planned episode of Bucket List, but this is my good friend Chidi Tuke.
What's up, guys? The man about town.
Man about town. That's an inside joke because we met back in 2011. He auditioned for Stills, and he didn't get like the main part he came in for, but just the drive that you had and the passion you had for independent filmmaking and storytelling, which just was like, we want to have this man in the fold. And you were how old at the time? Because you're what, 37 now?
Yeah, I'm 37 now.
That's 14 years ago? 23.
23.
Yeah, wow, yeah, you were young.
Yeah.
And you're still young, but
Yeah.
and it was just like, so he came in and he did PA work for us and whatever we needed, he was all about it. He was game for anything. And he always ended up being the one extra we definitely had in every scene. So if you watch season 1, he's just always in the background, so we called him the man about town.
Yeah.
And but he's out here in Vegas for WrestleMania, and so we're getting a few hours just to catch up, and whatnot.
Yeah.
But
it's my brother, man. Like, it's been a while since we've been around each other, and I love what he's doing with this channel. I love what he's doing with the message of sometimes in life we have these dreams and aspirations that don't always manifest what we want, and I think that just because you don't create the life that you think that you should have or you had in your mind when you were whatever, looks like me, like 23 years old, because I have my journey that's crazy. Doesn't mean that there's not life worth living. And I think that when you are in touch with people like him and I, it's like we bond in such a level that we understand the meaning of authentic friendship and brotherhood. And I think that when it comes to friendship and even family, that's what matters, So when coming out here, I had to make a chance to make an opportunity to come see my man over here, and
he was patient with my schedule. He's like, I get on Thursday at like 8:30. I'm like, I'm like a half an hour from my bedtime. I'm like, that's late.
Yeah,
that's late for my old ass. But, when was the last time we saw each other? Was it when you were in the hospital?
No, I got out. I did move to Florida, and I came back. And I remember you guys. We sat down and had lunch and I think me, you, Alba was there. There was a couple people there. I had my sister, one of my sisters there.
In the East Village.
East Village, yeah.
Yes, I remember that. Yeah. And someone had a kid with them, and I remember being
my sister had a kid. Yeah.
Your nephew,
my nephew.
And I remember being impressed that he wasn't just lost on a phone or an iPad. He colored. And then when the time was right, he put the coloring book away and he sat there and he ate and he spoke. It was very much reminiscent.
Yeah.
I was like, that child's being raised well.
That was my godson. He's still doing great.
How old's he now?
Damn.
I don't even want to know. But so the time before that though was, and then really the point of this, and I was like, you need to tell this story. The last time I saw you, you were in a very uncertain place in the hospital.
So, there's this thing about life is that you don't know what's coming next, and we don't know whatever could, what whether it be good or bad. Sometimes we don't know. Sometimes we can't predict the future, pretty much. And when we met, he was like an inspiration to me working on Stills, and I was creating my own web series, Sinners. And I, after we got done closing on that, and I ended up getting pretty ill. That's an understatement, but I went to the hospital and I didn't leave because I got admitted into the ICU. I had a pneumonia and it triggered my condition of sickle cell anemia, which exacerbated that, and I wasn't gonna make it, necessarily. It was a possibility. Luckily I survived, and I still tried to continue filming, but I would always be in and out of the hospital after that because it had taken a toll on me, the pneumonia, and then my organs were shutting down essentially. But through the grace of God and just support from friends and family like Shane, I got the gumption to continue to fight and thrive in my life, and I got lucky enough to have a transplant, bone marrow transplant, which I luckily got a match with my brother. Which shout out to Azuka, my brother. And, after that, I was able to survive, that disease. It kind of changed my perspective on things in life, because it wasn't just about all the plateaus I got to hit of success. Because even to this day, although I've done some things, I don't think I have ever, like, in my mind, grabbed the brass ring of like what I expected my life to turn out to, But I think that internally, the authentic relationships and bonds is what I connect myself to the most. I think that's the main thing. With all the noise going on in the world today, I think that's what grounds us, is when we have the moments to share with people that we love and care about, friends and family. And so with that in mind, I just kind of just live every day for the day. My shirt says live for the moment, and I kind of try to live by that, and embrace, what's the next day coming. And if you really think about it, like, every moment is all we have, There's no such thing as the past or future, because if you're looking at the future, you're kind of like projecting yourself into it. That's something that's not necessarily tangible. It's not here yet, And if you talk about the past, you're kind of like
Stuck.
And you're not living and tangibly taking control of the moment that you're in, So us even sitting here and doing this moment.
Let it pass you by if you're too much stuck in one or the other.
Yeah.
John Lennon said, life is what happens to you while you're busy making other plans.
Uh-huh.
Lord knows we've been trying to make plans in our lives,
yeah.
but I think you always say, you're so gracious to say, I was, what we did on Stills, all of us involved have been an inspiration to you. And everyone who worked on it was, as I've said in this channel before, is the best time of my life. But to have been a very small part in your support group while you were going through what you were going through, to see the fight you put up, to literally visit you in the hospital and not, I don't know if you knew we were there or not at times, because you were so, I don't even know, whatever condition you were in, of just being in and out of consciousness and being, I joke, I smirked when you showed your shirt, because I'm like, he's got a little belly now like me. Not quite as, he's got a little one, I got a big one. But like, you were a skeleton.
Yeah.
Our friends, we were sure the next time we saw you would not be with you still with us in this world. And the fight and the determination and the bravery and the fact that you did not give up for a second, your family didn't give up on you.
But I wouldn't have.
That's an inspiration.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
And it puts it into perspective, because I get real down on myself sometimes, not having the brass ring, whatever you say, the treatment. Feeling like, I'm stuck in Vegas, poor me, It's like, hey, you think of someone like you think of a friend, a brother who I've known for 14 years now, and watch go through true difficulty and heartache and pain and struggles, and you emerge on the other side. You give the rest of us balance. And we should be better as humans to be able to just see that on our own regardless. But
we all need each other in that,
Yeah.
And like, just as much like when I got out of my situation, like my whole thing was that what matters in this world is not how much money you got and what car you're driving, not where you're getting for whatever your status is, because those things are fleeting. You're not taking that with you when you pass. If I were to pass that day, I'm not taking any type of reward I got from some filmmaking, right?
What does matter is who signed Juan Soto. Go on.
Indeed. Shout out to the vets, man.
You know right now.
Baby.
Yeah.
But what matters is the connections you make. The authentic moments. Like you talked about seeing me in the hospital completely emaciated. Now I got a little pop belly. Got to get back in the gym. But the fact of the matter is that moment, I'm going to remember that, for the rest of my life, that he didn't have to come see me. You feel me? Like, and that he felt the need to come and check me and make sure that his spirit connected with mine in my darkest moments. That helps. You don't know how much that helps motivate somebody to continue. My people in my family that came, shout out to everybody, because I wouldn't be here without that. I truly don't believe that. I always see the doctors and nurses, who helped me along the way. but you don't like realize how much connection like builds you up. You know, how somebody who's in your life going through something, and just one word from you could change their perspective on their day, week, month, even year, or life in general. And it's important to reach out. So whenever I reach out to you or you reach out to me, it's just a blessing in itself, you know.
And we pick right back up. I
Yeah,
mean, we haven't
exactly.
seen each other in 10 years, almost.
Yeah, about
10 years. Yeah, and we pick right back up. Just like you were saying you do with our friend Kaon,
Yeah.
who was one of the people who used to come with us to see you in the hospital,
Yeah.
or me with Alba, or, you know,
Yeah.
whoever it might be, or Sam or whoever.
Shout out to
I mean,
everybody.
yeah,
Like,
it's,
it all means the world.
so I guess the
But-
moral is community.
Community, absolutely. But at the same time, within that community, I do want to stress, like, when you're talking about the bucket list, you know, and reaching out and doing things that inspire you, I think that always hold true to who you are. Like, we were just talking in the car about finding purpose in life and what you are uniquely, what drives you, what makes you that, gives you that fire inside as we connect with people and all that stuff. But I do think it's important to find what that is. Some people it is their community. Some people it is helping their community, whether it be helping their community reach their goals. Some people it is just their family and their children, and making them good people in the world. And for me and you, like, we are creators. We get that fire in our stomach when we are creating something in the world. And whether the world recognizes it at a mass level is not necessarily the point. I think that we do want to create something that we're proud of, and that somebody recognizes as something that they connect with as well. And I think that's the big thing. And whatever that is for you, find that in yourself and lean in on that. You know, don't let the number on in a bank account or what somebody thinks of you hold you back from what you is your true purpose is, because it's typically a feeling. It's not a thing. It's not a tangible thing. It's a feeling you get, and you know when you feel it that you're meant to do something. It's something that, like, when we're on a set, that vibe, that vibration we get is just, it's different, you know.
Yeah.
But for you, it might be something else. That when you're writing or drawing, it might be something where, you know, when you're on the, you know, you might be an accountant where you know that you know your numbers, and when you help somebody through their financial issues, it helps you.
Oh! When the phone doesn't fall because you hit the table.
I know, right?
There we go.
You know, it could be helping other people achieve their goals. But whatever that is, that feeling that makes you feel that you're living, find that and continue to do that. And find your community, find your tribe. Because you should never give up on that, you know, at the same time. Never give up on it.
Absolutely. I have a new friend of mine who has a channel, Cherie by the Sea, who she just posted something like this a day or two ago about where she wasn't, and she's, you know, closer to my age than your age, but still all within the same relative time frame of just, you know, going through the hard times in her life and being grateful for what she's got, and stepping away from something that wasn't working and moving into her dream and doing it for the love of it and for the community of it and for the health of it, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. And you said it beautifully. It resonates so much with me now because we were having a conversation about today, Shimi and I, and then my other friends and everybody. You know, I think there's a clarity that comes with age and experience. You don't have to be older to feel it. You know, you felt it younger when you were going through all this in your 20s and your early 30s and whatnot, and it came to you then, and just carrying that with us, carrying that clarity of community, of purpose, of pursuit of what is healthy for your soul.
Yeah.
And being grateful for every second is just, it's
Because that's what it's about.
priceless.
You know? I mean, and typically those type of things, you'd be surprised when they lead when you just do it just for the love of the game, you know? You'd be surprised where it leads, you know, who comes into your life. It might not be like $1 million, but it might be somebody that you end up being a friend for life, like me and him. You know, you never know where those things lead you that change your perspective and you know, so that's what I want to, that's my biggest message, just chase your dream and live for, you know, what makes you thrive, what makes you burn that fire inside of you, you know, because it's a lot of stuff going on in the world is going to tell you that you're not good enough or that you're not worthy enough. There's all these messaging out there on social media and wherever, just that's going to show you that, oh, you're not where you're supposed to be yet, or you're never going to get there, and make you feel bad about where you're at and currently. It doesn't matter. Find your community, embrace the people that love you and support you, and embrace your passions. Just embrace it fully today. Take some time out and just do something that you love for
Oh,
you.
yeah. So before we wrap it up, I know people are going to ask a few questions. One, how's your health today?
Doing very well. I'm blessed. I haven't had a crisis in I think 6 years, and it's a miracle. So more than anything, it's just constantly keeping my mental sharp now. And I think, believe it or not, after what I went through physically, the hardest part was the mental side.
I can imagine.
Afterwards, the hardest part was getting out of the mental side and overcoming. So I always try to practice meditation and just positive affirmations to keep myself sharp. And I think that's helped me continually to grow, because there's a lot of survivor's guilt when you go through something like that. There's a lot of guilt, just not because it did pivot my entire life, career path, and so there's a lot of regret. But then overcoming those things were kind of a bigger challenge, because that took me years, to really come to terms with it. And what helped me through that was just, literally finding myself, and I think really knowing who you are, and that you don't need it all. You just need you and the people that rock with you. That's it.
Second question. This is your first time in the desert, right?
Yes.
What do you think of it? See, I wish I had brought my tripod. That would have been a lot better of a backdrop.
Yeah.
And last question. Are the Mets going to win the World Series soon?
I'm going to take a shot to that. You know what? Later on tonight I will. But yes. Let's go Mets.
Damn right.
It's now time.
It's good to see you, brother.
It's good to see you too.
I love you, man. Thank you for sharing your story.
Definitely.
All right.
Peace out, guys. Love you.
Bye.
Peace.